Drick Blood is here!
Drick Blood.
Drick Blood.
Drink blood. Drink blood.
Hey, that's cool.
Welcome to Unfiltered. I had to pause for a moment because Bruce is in a booth by himself, and he's looking at too many things at one time. He's got 2 eyes and like 6 things to look at, so he'll be all right. Especially next Tuesday, he'll be all right. He'll be a year older. We have to say happy birthday to Bruce.
Happy birthday.
I'm going to remember to say happy birthday to Bruce. So his birthday's coming up on Tuesday. If you work with him, if you know him, next Tuesday, say happy birthday to Bruce. And call him old or something. Hey, I've got to tell you, Ernie and I went down last Saturday to the, I guess, I can call it the first annual.
No, it was the second.
Oh, it was a second. That's right. They had a small one the year before. The Monadnock Aviation Day. It should be called the Keene Aviation Day, but I feel that maybe a lot of people are confused and may think that the city had something to do with putting that on. They didn't. It was all Monadnock Aviation and Fenton Family Dealerships put that air show on. And it was good. I mean, it wasn't like going to a military base and seeing an air show, but it was a very nice small town air show. They had a C-130 on the ground to look at. They had a P-51, a couple of, I think, T-6s, I think they were, a couple of Chinese yaks, not the animal, the airplane, old propeller-driven Chinese planes from the 1960s. They had helicopters. They had remote control, a section down at the end of the runway where a bunch of guys had remote control planes and helicopters and stuff. Nonprofits doing food vending, which was very good. I mean, it's another event that allows the local nonprofits to get in there and make some money for their causes, which is really good. So that was good. We've got, I think between Ernie and I, we shot 5 hours worth of footage or something during the day. So we're going to, as soon as we get a little break in our hectic schedule here, we're going to edit that together. I believe we're going to set up a time next week to go down and speak with Beth at Monadnock Aviation and get her to tell us basically, you know, how much work it was to plan the thing and carry it out, and get her insight as to whether they at Monadnock Aviation think that it was a successful venture or not. But I read a blog on Facebook that they did think it was a successful event. So congratulations, and thank you, Monadnock Aviation and Fenton Family Dealers, for putting that on. It was a blast, even though the morning was real sketchy with rain, but it cleared off. It was a beautiful day. So are you waiting to say something, Bruce?
Well, I was going to ask you, did you get any aerial footage? Because I know that you may have had opportunity to do like a balloon or a helicopter ride or something like that.
Ernie went up in the balloon, and by the time the air part of the show got done, which while the air part of the show was on, they weren't giving the helicopter rides. By the time they started giving helicopter rides again, the line was enormous, and there were dark clouds to the west, and everybody was saying we've got only about an hour before the weather moved in. And honestly, after 8.5 hours in the sun, me and Ernie were toast. We were done. Carrying around all our gear. We didn't have a little grunt with us to carry our stuff. So, no newbies around here at the station that we could have had just carrying stuff. But it was good. We really had a good day, and we're going to think we can get at least a half an hour, possibly an hour's little highlight show for you folks. So watch for that coming up. Also, by the time you're watching this, all of us Cheshire TV people are out right now at the Keene High School graduation at Alumni Field, filming that tonight, and that's going to air next week sometime. For all you interested parents, proud grandparents, or whatever, people that have family maybe overseas in the military that can't attend graduation, you can always purchase a DVD from Cheshire TV. Mail it out of the graduation. They make great gifts. And they'll be on sale, after next week, after we film it. It's funny because when we did Keene Comes Alive a couple weeks ago, we had gotten handfuls of orders for copies of that show before the show even happened. So, that's really cool. But, it's all the little kids are in it, and the parents all want copies, and grandparents all want copies, and, everybody likes to see their kid on TV. All right, graduation, Bruce's birthday, air show. We have other big news. For those Facebook followers, and I want to mention that I have a show site on Facebook. It's Unfiltered with TV's Rick Blood. You can log on there and like me if you want. Or just, you can log on and I try and post what's going to be on the show, what, things that are happening unfiltered-wise. For those of you people who aren't Facebook followers, we have officially jumped the river, the Connecticut River. Windsor On Air, TV 8, up in Windsor, Vermont. They serve 1,200 households in the Windsor, West Windsor, and I believe Cornish area. They've taken our show off Peg Media, and we will be aired on Saturday nights at 10 o'clock, right before Saturday Fright Special. Because they air Saturday Fright Special. A lot of people air Saturday Fright Special. It's very popular. As a matter of fact, I believe Saturday Fright Special is the most downloaded show on Peg Media, which is very cool. What's that? That's locally produced, yeah. Yep. As a matter of fact, Mark, our business services guy here at Cheshire TV, he's one of the people that work on that show. So. Yeah, it's very cool. And well, for one thing, I was surprised because Manchester, New Hampshire's been airing us, I believe, the last 7 weeks. And they were the only one that was taking us off Peg. That's 35,000 households, though. So, it makes me feel good, that many people are being exposed to me. Or maybe I'm being exposed to that many people. And I check Peg all the time to see if I've got any more downloads. And I looked last Friday, and Windsor had taken one show. They downloaded one show. I came in on Monday. When I checked it this Monday, Windsor had taken 9 more off of the site. And I went, ooh. Wow. Kind of surprised me. So I wanted to drive to Windsor, Vermont, and see what their little public access station was all about, and basically find out what kind of person thought their community deserved me. Very nice lady runs it, and I didn't even get her name. But I went over. They've got just a little tiny, probably half the size of what we've got here at Cheshire TV, which I got, when I left there to come back to Keene and got in my car, I was like, boy, am I grateful for all the things that we have here at Cheshire TV. Now that I've seen a really small operation, And I mean, 1,200 households, even at 5% of a franchise fee, that's not much, you know? As a matter of fact, the executive director is only supposed to work 32 hours over there. What that ever happens, you know? I'm only supposed to work 40 hours. But Lee knows I'm a liar. So, anyway, I want to welcome all the Windsor TV 8 viewers out there in Vermont. So I guess I have to keep all the Vermont jokes to a minimum now.
It's okay.
It's sad. The other bit of news, a week from today, on June 18th, we're having some major electrical work done here at Cheshire TV. So the office will be closed for that day, and it would not surprise me if we are either off the air completely all day, or we are on and off sporadically during the day. But as soon as they cut the power to our video distribution machine, you know, the Nexus, we're done. So bear with us. We're sorry, but we got to get this whole electrical situation in the building straightened out so that we're paying the right amount of money for our electric bill. We're not being overcharged, undercharged, all that stuff. All right, let's get into some funny stuff. And I lined up all my stories this week by dates, trying to get the older ones first, but I'm not going to worry about that. I did it just because I needed something to do. This story really got me. Apparently, high school test results in Thailand. That's over near Vietnam and China and all that. Apparently, high school test results have revealed a failure rate of more than 80% in mathematics, biology, and computer studies.
Whoa.
80% failure rate. Greg says, whoa. Get ready, Greg. That's among teachers. Yeah. That's among the teachers that teach that stuff.
What about the kids?
They fail. Hold on, let me see if it says anything about kids. Failure rates for teachers who took exams in their own subjects were about 88% for computer studies, 84% for mathematics, 86% for biology, and 71% in physics.
I guess it's true.
Apparently in Thailand, if you're a physics student, you're still stupid.
It's true.
Almost 95% of about 37,500 secondary school directors did not score a pass mark in English and technology. I mean, technology worries me, but who cares if they score well in English unless they're coming here? If you live in Bangkok, shouldn't you speak whatever they speak in Bangkok? Shouldn't that be, who cares if you fail English? I mean, I'm not very good in Spanish or Peruvian or French or Swahili or any of that. But who cares? Anyway, apparently it's ignited controversy in Thailand about the educational standards. Basically, how can stupid teachers teach kids and expect them to come out smart? You know what they say? People that can't do something, teach it.
It depends on whether or not that government wants to educate the people and allow them to be informed, or if they want to keep them suppressed.
Well, I mean, if they're like any other government, they want to keep them suppressed, just like the American government wants to keep us suppressed. Which is why all of us have not stormed the White House with like pitchforks and torches demanding that something be done about the Gulf oil spill. 14 countries, including Iran, have offered their help. And apparently the Obama administration said, but don't worry about it, we'll handle it. Meanwhile, what did I see? He just sent a whole crap load of money somewhere to help some fourth, third world nation. Basically, who cares? The government, at this point, 59 days in, 60 days in, something like that, almost 2 months into this disaster, nothing's been done. But now the federal government is involved. So the only news that we are seeing, I mean, we're in New Hampshire. The only way we know what's going on in Louisiana is from what the media and the government are telling us. And actually, I've been watching Anderson Cooper because for some reason I seem to think that he's like one of the most maybe honest news guys, or maybe the most impartial, kind of still a news guy,
Yeah, but
and not just leaning to whatever side his.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people on the liberal side that are pretty upset about what's being done down there.
Oh, everybody's upset. Oh, Anderson Cooper has been out with these bird rescue people and these people that are rescuing the animals and trying to film this stuff. When the American public sees a pelican that can't even move because he's so crusted up with oil and sludge, it pisses us off. So the government's decided that they're going to send federal officials down to oversee this whole process. And now every animal rescue boat that goes out to rescue animals has a federal official on the boat, and they're keeping the news people away from those boats. They don't want the news people to see what's going on. So how can the news accurately report to us what's going on when the government's keeping them locked out? The government's like, don't take pictures of the birds and the sea creatures covered in oil. It upsets the American people. Well, yeah, of course it does. And actually, my ex-wife brought up a good point on Facebook. She posted a comment to me asking, where are all the benefits? You know, like the Haiti relief stuff, the earthquake relief, all these things that people throw benefits to try and raise money to help. None of that's happening.
The Saints started a benefit.
New Orleans Saints?
Yeah, they started a benefit. They got a raffle for a Super Bowl ring.
Oh, okay. My feeling, my guess as to why they're not prevalent is because it's not, how do I want to put this? It's a different type of disaster. There's no actual human element involved. There's no human suffering. Well, yeah. And, who cares about the animals? But when there's 3,000 people dead, oh my God, we're ready to string somebody up. When there's 30,000 birds and marine animals dead, but who cares?
Well, I think two things. One, that it's a man-made disaster. You can point the finger directly at a company,
Right.
somebody that created this problem.
That was
But-
my other thought.
But also that there's plenty of people that their livelihood depends on that region of the ocean of the Gulf for fishing or what have you.
All right.
Be it business or pleasure, people enjoy that area and deserve the use of that, those waters, and they don't deserve to have this kind of damage done.
Exactly. And I mean, BP, for years now, we've heard these oil companies raking in, $40 billion profit every quarter. Not every year, every quarter. That's, yeah, trillions every year. So you think maybe they could pay for their screw up? Yeah, I think they should. I think they should. I won't read that one. Anyway, it's a horrible thing. The government's controlling all the information. And as a matter of fact, I heard that BP actually paid some huge amount of money to Google and some of the other search engines so that whenever you type in Gulf oil disaster, oil spill, any type of thing like that looking for information, the top site that will pop up on Google is BP's home site. And they'll tell you, oh, don't worry, everything's just hunky-dory and fine and dandy. Birds like the oil. Yeah, it's great for their feathers. It keeps the water off them. But it's super. Well, apparently what it does when the oil coats the birds, it doesn't allow their natural bodily thermometer to work. They'll overheat or whatever because they can't cool down, they can't warm up. And also as the birds try and clean themselves, who knows what kind of internal damage it does from eating all that crap. And I guess now there's tar balls floating up in Florida now, on some of the beaches in Florida along the Panhandle. And one of the mayors said, oh, we don't have tar balls every day. When the first one hit the beach, I'd be filing suit against BP. Going, look, you're messing up our state. I don't know. I've always said it's these big corporations. I mean, they're going to ruin us. You know they are. And granted, it's not the first one. All right. Wow, have I gone that far already? All right. Let's get to the quick crew call because it won't take long. Over there, it's Greg. As usual, the only one here in the studio with me. Thought Jim was going to be here, but he must have had something to do because he didn't volunteer for the meeting at City Hall tonight either. And in the booth, all lonesome.
All by my lonesome tonight. Andrea's down with the weather. Bad headache tonight. Just a rough week for her because with all the rain and everything, pressure changes, they affect her pretty hard. So she took some heavy drugs and is home trying to relax and recover and get the headache to go. But me, myself, yes. Next week I turn 45 on the 15th. And, well, I'll tell you what, this past week I went out and goofed around with my buddy Tim, riding four-wheelers, just for an hour.
You're too old for that.
I must be too old for that. Well, we were cruising on a hill, going across the hill and then cutting back up, and all the tension was on the right side, and I was trying to turn that sucker off for all I could, and I must have pulled something in my shoulder because it was sore as hell yesterday. My whole danged arm hurt. I felt old as hell, but hey, life goes on. At least we're back to work. Things are picking up a bit there at Smith's, so at least I could put in a full 40-hour week this week, so that's going to be nice. This past paycheck this week kind of really sucked, but, you know, what are you going to do? But other than that, just having fun out there. I have a raccoon that's frequenting the yard now. Showed up last week, coming right around dusk. He's probably just about a year old, but he don't look as familiar as the one I saw last year. Looks a bit smaller, but got a couple of good pictures of him, and I know he likes corn on the cob and peanuts. So
Pretty sure he likes a lot more than that.
yeah,
But
yeah. If I threw him a bologna sandwich, he probably wouldn't bitch about it. But
yeah.
but I'm not going to try that.
Okay.
So we'll stick to peanuts. But that's about it, man. I'm gonna throw it back at you.
All right. That's some food stories this week. Last week there was a lot of bird stories. Not so many bird stories this week. But apparently in Sydney, Australia, there's a restaurant that is a restaurateur who's fed up with throwing stuff away. And he's ordered the customers to clean their plates or pay a penalty and not return. Actually, he's not telling people that don't clean their plates that they have to pay a penalty. But if you do clean your plate, you get a 30% discount that you've ordered. And yeah. To contribute toward creating a sustainable future, we request a little more of our guests than most other restaurants. That's what it says in a list of the restaurant's policies that's pinned on the door. The list includes finishing all dishes ordered which are organic and free of gluten, dairy, sugar, and eggs. And the chef and her staff tell people who don't clear their plates to choose another restaurant the next time. Don't bother coming back. You don't eat all your food. And they also say that finishing your meal requires that everything is eaten except lemon slices, gari, which is sushi ginger, and wasabi. They say, please also note that vegetables and salad are not, on the side, are not decorations. They're part of the meal. So, I mean, hey, it makes sense. There is an awful lot of waste in the restaurant industry. And I remember growing up, it was always, you'd better finish your dinner. Do you know how many kids are starving in China? Which, I mean, once I got old enough to reply and be a smart ass, it was always, you know, well, send it to them then. I don't ever remember Mom packing a box, though. But anyway. But hey, this, wow, a 2-page story. I can see why now, yeah. It's okay. Yes, Jane, it's another 2-page story I haven't read a word of. Except the headline. But this is probably a lady that cleans her plate always. Old Bridge, New Jersey. Apparently Donna Simpson, she's 42 years old and she's trying to become the heaviest woman in the world. What kind of a damn goal is that to set? I want to be the heaviest woman in the world, and then I'm going to go lay around the beach in a bikini.
I hope she's independently wealthy and not drawing on welfare, too.
Well, yeah, she's, right now she weighs more than 600 pounds, and she's shooting for 1,000. I mean, I thought I was bad because I want, like, my cholesterol numbers to be, like, the highest of anybody. She's the mother of 2 children, ages 3 and 14, and she models on a website called supersizedbombshells.com. You may not want to check that out. Where admirers and the curious, or the sick and demented, can pay and watch videos of her eating greasy foods or walking to the car. Apparently, she can still walk. I don't know. Among the heaviest women ever recorded was one who reportedly weighed 1,800 pounds and another who reportedly weighed 1,200 pounds.
Whoa.
I believe I milked them when I was up there in Westmoreland at that agricultural college and seminary school. Because, man, she wears, hold on, XXXXXL. 5 X's in a large, made by Ahmed the tent maker. She says, the bigger your butt is, the bigger belly you have, the sexier you are. She's found a man who says he appreciates her size and they plan to marry in Hawaii. She said airlines are
They're gonna
being...
float her over on a barge?
No, well, they're going to fly her. And she said the airlines are being accommodating of her needs. Apparently, they're going to throw her in like a C-130 or something. Ship her over. She spends as much as $750 a week on groceries. All right, so she's helping the economy.
Right. $600 worth of
Although-
Twinkies, though, right?
She suffers from type 2 diabetes and struggles with basic tasks such as cooking and taking a shower. Do you think?
If she
Maybe she
struggles-
should just roll her ass through a car wash. I don't know. She says she's very healthy. She goes to the doctor every 3 months. Well, if she was a normal weight, she could probably only go to the doctor every year. And how much would that save on healthcare costs? I'm sorry, this is unacceptable. I do not care. Weighing 1,000 pounds, if somebody says, I want to weigh 1,000 pounds, you should put a bullet right between their eyes. The only thing that can be healthy at 1,000 pounds is a cow, or an elephant, or a bear, or a whale. Guaranteed you put her in the water, I bet she can't swim.
Like, wow.
I bet she doesn't even float. But she's battled weight issues all her life and was mercilessly teased. Sorry. Sorry I made fun of you, fat lady. The hell else can you do but apparently people just talking to her and telling her, look, being fat is unhealthy. You've got to do something. That didn't work, so maybe they figured they'd just tease her, and if you humiliate somebody enough, maybe they'll change. Then again, maybe not. But it's bad. All right. Yeah, we may just skip that tonight, Bruce, because it is a long-ass one. I didn't realize it was. We're talking, for those of you at home who don't understand what's going on the other half of behind the cameras, we're talking about whether we're going to run the musical interlude. It's, what is it, 5 minutes and 45 seconds? It's a long-ass musical interlude anyway. And it is a good one, but, no, I've got a lot of stories here. So if we don't get to the music, we don't get to the music. Usually people walk away, especially during a 5-minute music. Somebody's going to leave, I know. Alexandria, Louisiana, we'll move right into.
That cello's keep.
Yeah, Greg, I know. It's just, but you've already seen it once, and you can watch it after we're done taping again if you want. In Alexandria, Louisiana, there Rapides, it's probably pronounced French, Rapides Parish authorities accused a jail trustee of smuggling contraband into the jail in his prosthetic leg. Yeah. Nice, huh? I mean, you've got to expect that. You give somebody a leg that's hollow, they're going to put something in it. Apparently, he's a 42-year-old man, was arrested and charged with introduction of contraband into a penal institution.
What'd he try to,
I thought it was a jail.
what'd he try to bring in?
They found some bags of loose tobacco, 10 cigarettes, a container of smokeless tobacco, and 4 Soma pills, a muscle relaxer. Sounds like a nice place to carry stuff. It does sound like personal consumption. But anyway, that's kind of weird. Other stupid people? How about this guy, Ellensburg, Washington? A guy broke into the basement of a bank. He'd been drinking. He broke a basement window about 3 in the morning last Saturday. Oh, he was caught on surveillance video. That's how. The surveillance video showed him breaking the window at about 3 in the morning last Saturday and leaving before 8. He broke into the bank to sleep.
He just had the alarm off?
Maybe. It doesn't say that there was an alarm set off.
I couldn't believe before you can.
They said they tracked the guy down on Tuesday. Apparently, yeah. Arrested him at his home for investigation of second-degree burglary and malicious mischief. The captain of the police force said the man was intoxicated and doesn't know why he went to the bank to sleep.
Okay, but why burglary? I mean, what did he take other than, he's caught a few Z's?
It doesn't say. Like I said, the government's controlling these news stories. I don't know shit. This is the Geezer Bandit strikes again. Have you heard of this guy, the Geezer Bandit? Apparently he looks old, so they started calling him the Geezer Bandit out in California. He's a notorious California bank robber, and he's struck for the 10th time. Since August of last year, the robber, who appears to be in his 60s or 70s, has raided a string of banks in the San Diego area. On one occasion, he even appeared before a startled teller with tubes like those used to administer medicinal oxygen inserted into his nostrils. In Monday's robbery in Poway, the suspect walked into a branch of U.S. Bank, pulled out a revolver, and handed a demand note before fleeing with an undisclosed sum of cash. Local media reports say authorities believe the robber could be wearing a disguise to make him look older. So yeah, he could just be a out-of-work actor. Maybe. Or it could be Abe Vigoda. Really? If you think about it, nobody's seen Abe for a while. I don't know. I mean, 70 years old, that's too old to rob banks, I would think. More food stories? This is a weird one, right in Boston. Apparently there's some concern because the Boston Herald reported that city's Parks and Recreation Commission was scheduled to go before state lawmakers on Tuesday to ask permission to lease 2 former public bathrooms on city land for possible use as restaurants. Apparently someplace called the Pink Palace, which is a 660 square foot mausoleum-like structure on the Boston Common, and the 670 square foot granite duck house in the Back Bay Fens have not been used as bathrooms in decades. But city officials think they're prime spots for privately run limited service restaurants.
That's okay.
I mean,
I thought they were gonna have to eat in the bathroom. That would be like.
well, no, I imagine they're going to take all the old fixtures out, I would think. Maybe not. But it's just, the thought of going in and sitting down to eat in some place that used to be a public restroom that maybe, I don't know, George Michaels might have used. Or Pee Wee Herman or somebody, That senator from wherever he was from out there. Who cares? It's an old bathroom. I mean, I've eaten in the bathroom before. Nothing to it. Hey, there's just some good news. The Dutch herring season opened on Tuesday with the traditional auction of the first barrel, which contained 45 herrings. It sold, the first barrel was auctioned off for $69,000. 45 herrings for $69,000. Did you get the barrel too? Yeah.
Wow.
It's an 11-pound keg. And apparently the proceeds of the sale of the first keg goes to charity. And the auction's very symbolic. First keg was sold for $69,000. And the rest is all in euro. Keg was purchased by a wholesaler, adding it would be delivered to a fish restaurant in The Hague. The herring has been tasted by experts and a chef. It is very good, but has a little less fatty than last year. And I guess it's fished off Scotland and Scandinavia. Herring is generally eaten uncooked with chopped onions and a little bit of white bread. So, yeah. All right, here's a story. I had to pull this one because, oh my God, I saw it on the news this morning. An actual video of it. An Ohio woman spent 3 days. Oh, hey, Greg. Explain the end of the show to whoever you need to explain it to. Okay, thanks, man. In Alliance, Ohio, an Ohio woman has been put in jail for 3 days because she called 911 and asked them to get her a husband. I'm trying to see, it doesn't have the actual thing. But apparently she called 5 times asking the 911 operator to get her a husband. She was drunk. The dispatcher was flabbergasted by the requests and asked the lady, Audrey Scott, "You need to get a husband?" And the 57-year-old woman replied, "Yes." Told that she could face arrest for misusing 911, she responded, "Let's do it." So they put her in jail. And maybe she'll meet somebody there. But she blamed the whole case on alcohol. And when I saw the blurb on TV about it, I saw this woman. She needs 911 to get a guy. I'm sorry. But, I mean, granted,
I heard that one on the radio.
Look, if a 600-pound woman can get a husband who's aiming for 1,000 pounds, then I'm sure this lady can find one, you know? This is one in Geneva. Who would have ever thought? Swiss customs officers seized 1 ton of contraband near the French border on Thursday. They were frozen French fries. Apparently in Switzerland, French fries are contraband. Maybe it's got to do with the fact they don't like the French. They were being transported by a Swiss company for resale. The vehicle was stopped after crossing the French border. Customs officers had pinpointed the vehicle as being potentially suspicious when it left the country the week before. The driver's unconvincing explanation about the vehicle's contents had raised eyebrows among customs officers who set up a surveillance operation. Doesn't say what his explanation was, but maybe he told them he started out with potatoes. But he hit a lot of bumps and then went through a cold snap and ended up with frozen fries. That's stupid. Wow, all long stories, and I didn't read any of them. All right. 13 minutes I got to make up something for? All right. A man in California is going to prison for smuggling birds into the country. He was sentenced on Monday to 4 months in prison. Sonny Dong of Garden Grove, 46 years old. He was also ordered to pay $4,000 in restitution to federal authorities who are caring for the birds. Apparently in December 2008, customs inspectors at the Los Angeles International Airport found an abandoned piece of luggage that contained 18 birds, 5 of which were dead, and determined that he had checked it while boarding a flight in Vietnam. In April of 2009, custom officials determined that the same guy was scheduled to fly from Vietnam and arrive in LAX, and they conducted an inspection and saw bird droppings on his socks and feathers peeking out from his pants. Plus, apparently there was some like noise coming out of his pants too. 14 live birds were found attached to pieces of cloth wrapped around his
14?
calves. 14. When they went and served the search warrant at his house, they found 51 more birds. Why this guy needs so many singing birds, I don't know, because that would drive me nuts. Apparently they sell between $800 and $1,000 on the black market. The dude pled guilty to illegally importing wildlife. That's crazy. What else we got? Maybe it's something maybe we should do. Let me read it first. My ex-wife tells me all the time, I hate it when you got so many papers on your desk. You don't read them. Hey, I don't like to read, really. That's one of the reasons why she's the ex-wife. Apparently, Russia believes that they can help fight alcohol abuse. They're going to raise the price of liquor. And they feel that that'll do it. Matter of fact, they're thinking of doubling the minimum price of vodka. Wow. I hope it doesn't affect us over here. But their president last year ordered tough measures to curb alcohol abuse in a country where the average Russian drinks 38 pints of pure alcohol each year.
Wow.
That's less than a pint a week. I mean, so that's not that bad. Vodka should not be.
The rest of my life, and I already got my lifetime's share of that.
They say vodka should not be cheap. It is not a product of first necessity. Which is true. I mean, no, but I think what they're saying is if they make the vodka more expensive, then the people, instead of going, I can't afford to buy my family food, but I can afford $2 for a bottle of vodka. Maybe they'll go, well, yeah, I can spend $10 on my family for food because I can't afford the $11 bottle of vodka.
They tried that here with cigarettes. It's not
I
working.
mean, they'll probably start drinking turpentine, and I mean, it's the same thing. You don't.
We ought to send them some American whiskey. We could make some money.
Yeah, or some beer or something. Meanwhile, in America, bad news. Bad news. Los Angeles, apparently about 440 self-described medical marijuana dispensaries across LA were under orders to close on Monday. Yeah. An estimated 135 dispensaries may remain legally open as of Monday as a new city law formally takes effect. City leaders hope to eventually whittle down that number to 70. And here it is. Confine them to mostly industrial areas away from schools, parks, libraries, and churches. Because, you don't want your neighborhood apothecary or drugstore right next to the school. I don't know. It's the whole double thinking kind of thing. They say, oh yeah, we believe that medicinal marijuana is good, but keep it away from everybody. Put it down in the bad sections of town, which is where most people would go to get their weed if they weren't in dispensaries. You buy it from the guy down in the industrial area or, the projects. Trying to see what the bill is. But it doesn't really say. It's in response to residents who complained that many of the shops were catering to more recreational pot smokers than patients. And legal challenges failed to stop the law. Here it is. Under the ballot initiative, simple possession of an ounce or less of marijuana, currently a misdemeanor punishable by a $100 fine, would be legal for anyone aged 21 or older. It would also be lawful to grow limited amounts in one's own home for personal use.
I guess that's a good trade-off.
While sales would not be legalized outright, cities and counties could pass laws permitting commercial distribution subject to local regulations and taxes. And retail sales would still be limited to an ounce for adults 21 and older. I mean, it's still,
Hey, that's a trade-off.
they're still not looking at it right. I mean, the government's all about the fines. Here's the fines. If we catch you, we're going to fine you because it's a good way for us to make money. When in reality, if the government would just basically take over the whole regulation and distribution like they do with cigarettes and liquor, and then put that big fat tax stamp on it. You know, how much revenue have you got there? You know, you could have a federal tax on pot, a state tax on pot, a city tax on pot. You could have a damn neighborhood tax on pot if you wanted. Tax the hell out of it. True, honest potheads like me, we're still going to buy it. Cigarettes keep going up and up and up. And you know something? I'm still buying them. $6.50 a pack now. When they hit $7 a pack, I'll still be buying them. When they hit $8 a pack, I'll still be buying them. Hopefully by the time they hit $9 a pack, I'll be dead. You know, either from smoking or eating all the bacon stuff. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, that's all the stories that I've got for this week. Other than I want to congratulate all the graduates who are graduating at this very moment, walking across the stage. And although none of them are going to actually be watching TV to hear me say this, I think that, you know, every single one of you, all 100%, should attend Project Graduation. Let's make it a nice, safe graduation night so that we don't have to pick up the paper on Saturday morning or Sunday morning and find that we've lost one of our brightest and you know, greatest kids. It happens every year. But anyway, next week we'll be back. I'm not sure if we're actually going to air on Friday night or not because, oh, hey.
Hi, this is Chris Coates, and I'm coming to you live from the Cheshire TV studios, and this is going to be Keynote Spin for this week. This is all you're going to see because tomorrow is graduation, and we couldn't just put the two things together, get our show done, and also graduation. So you'll miss us this week, and hopefully we'll be back in 2 weeks because the following week I'm told that they're going to be doing some electrical work here, so we're not going to be on that week either. So for 2 weeks you're probably going to see the same show over and over, or maybe they'll put something in that's one of our old shows. And if that's the case, then you're going to see John McClane a lot over the next 2 weeks. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It just is. So that's really all I had to say. But again, you will not see us tomorrow because graduation is tomorrow. We've still got 3 minutes. So Rick, how you doing?
Let me slide back in here, Chris.
All right.
I can share the spotlight with you a little bit.
That's okay.
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
How about you?
All right, good. I was interested in hearing what you were talking about tonight. It's stuff that I don't know where do you get that?
Yahoo.
Yahoo?
Yahoo News.
Oh, I heard about the woman who got jailed for calling 911. I still can't figure why, and that's just crazy to jail her. I mean, why?
Why would you call 911? For a husband.
Yeah,
Most 911 operators are women.
this is true. I had not thought about it that way. But what about the in the pot stuff? In all the industrial areas? So that's why. I mean, is it because it's industrial use, strength, or what?
It's usually the more seedier part of towns.
That's right. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. So do they have prostitution out there too? That's where they put everything?
I would imagine if you're going to put all the pot down there, you'd put the prostitution.
Yeah.
Everything, yeah.
But
The
at least
strip
they have
joints.
these places. In New Hampshire, they don't have these places.
No.
They're
And we got-
a little bit more progressive there.
Yeah. Well, they're trying. And I still think if the government would take it over, our financial woes would be over.
I hear you.
And maybe it would, if pot was legalized, maybe less people would do the harder drugs.
You know,
Maybe.
you never know, but all these other countries that have, I mean, that they don't have the drinking ages and stuff like that, the studies have come back and said that they don't have the issues that we have.
Right.
You know, why is that? Is that because they, you know, the kids understand at an early age and respect it because it's presented to them
I think that's
early?
what it is.
I don't pretend to understand.
I think if you brought up, and I think it was Luca, who was saying when he was in Sicily as a little kid, wine was
Just
was
part
normal.
of the, yeah.
It was part of, part of the day. You could have a little drink of wine with your supper.
Well, it's just
And-
like everything they do. In Italy, in 1 minute, okay. In Italy, they at 12:30 they shut down for 2 hours to have lunch. You know, I mean, they take the time, they relax. I mean, they do it. They just shut down. You know, they have multiple vacations where we have maybe 3. The average for American citizens 3. All right, maybe not for you, but you know, the
I
average.
said 3. You work at a great place.
Yeah, no, I actually get 4. But no, but they have like 11. I mean, they shut down things. They work. Some of them work 4 days a week, and that's it. And they take the long weekend. I mean, it's just crazy stuff.
I mean, we're in America. We're killing ourselves.
Yeah,
Slaves to our economy.
yeah. All right, so you got 22 seconds.
22
So
seconds,
remember,
yeah.
we won't be on for the next 2 weeks. We'll miss you, and hopefully you miss us too, and you'll tune in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, and by the way, Lee said you'll probably lose your spot because
Why?
according to the rules, series shows have to put one show in at least every 2 weeks. You're gonna miss 2.
Okay,
You'll have
that's
to talk to Lee.
second's not our fault.
Till next
Okay.
week. Peace.
See ya.
Stop. There are kids watching. That's no way to teach kids how to behave.